Hi Flosstube! Welcome back to my channel. My name's Matt and this is MBC Stitcher. I'm also on Instagram as MBC_Stitcher. And I just want to say thank you for everybody that's responded to my first video. All the comments have been great, the messages. I really enjoyed reading all those and it's just been great. So today I'm going to be doing covering what I've worked on the last week. My whip update, and then I'm going to be doing getting into some of the haul that I bought or that it's come in the last week, and then I'm going to go into my Maynia plans for May. It's the first time I'm going to be doing Maynia, and so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so first up, whips. I worked on 4 things this week. So the first one I'm going to show is my Paine Free Craft Stitch Along. This is, it's a fantasy alphabet that like each letter is going to have a different fantasy or mythical creature. So like A is for Anubis. This is going to be B, it's for Basilisk, and it's going to look like a bee, but a snake. And then I mostly worked on that and then worked on the border coming across the top. So I probably will, I work on this every couple days. It's something that I'm behind. I didn't start it until recently, but they're all the way up to H, and so I want to get a little bit further, and so I can make some more progress. Each one of the letters is not too bad. I mean, there's quite a few different colors in it, but you don't end up, there's not a whole lot of stitching, and then there's some back stitching, but it really makes it come alive, as you can see with the Anubis. I mean, just the way all that works is just really good. So this is on a 32 count white Jobelan, and it's just with called for DMC. You can get the pattern on Paine Free Crafts website. It's a UK website. I don't remember the name. I will be putting information in the description box this week because it's not as much for all my whips, so I'll have it down there. But it's a stitch along. I think it's like 13 pounds. And then you get the border and then 26 individual patterns, and they release every couple weeks. So they're up to H, which I think is hippocampi. No, I don't remember what it is, but I'm really enjoying this. There is a like floss list of everything, and there's a lot of DMC floss. It's not all of them, but it's quite a bit of them. But you're not using a whole lot except for the border. I mean, the border is a lot of this green, and then this yellow gold. There's quite a bit of that, and a few other colors. So, but it's also, what I like about it, at this point the border is pretty repetitive, so I don't need to pay attention to the pattern. I can just work on it when I'm doing something, watching something on TV or something like that. I can just take a strand of green and I know, okay, move this way, and then the yellow, the same kind of thing. So anyway, that's this one. I think I'm going to try to get through the Basilisk this week, or at least closer to finishing it, and then we'll see what happens after that. Anyway, okay, this next one is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is Hello Pumpkin, which was a stitch along from last year, and I didn't know about it when it was happening. I just saw it on some people's floss tubes and really liked it. I really like the fox and the owl. Both are animals that I like and stitch up things about. So I have been doing this one. For whatever reason, I decided I'd try to do at least one little motif or get something done for each day. So I usually put a couple threads in, get a leaf, and then work on something that's a little bigger, like a fox, which obviously will take longer because there's a lot more to it, or like this pumpkin or something. So you can see a bunch of like half-done stuff. I have figured out that I am caught up through the end of April on my own timeline. And then was looking at what I still have left, because this is the edge of the tree here, but it kind of comes up here, and then I got to do the tree, and then there's some stuff at the bottom. But I realized I'm pretty much caught up through the end of April, and that if I want to do this in May, that I'd be finishing it in May, and that's a lot of extra stitching in May when I'm trying to do Maynia. So I've decided to put this on hold until after May. I'm pretty much taking May off from this, and then I'll come back to it in June, and then should get through it in June or July. It won't be a whole, it should be pretty good. Anyway, this is on 18 count Nova by Brandy at bestitchme. This was a fabric of the month color, I think 2 months ago, no, maybe February. Yeah, I think so. I really liked it. It's like purple, pink, and blues. It's coming a lot more purple here, but let me see if I can. Yeah, it's coming more purpley, but it's definitely got a mix of them. I really like it. And on the 18 count, I like using 2 strands over one. So you get kind of like a chunky look to it, which I'm not mad about. So that's this one. As I said, it's going to be taking a little break, but I'm using all the called for colors. I did end up backstitching around this leaf, because this light green or seafoam or color, it really kind of disappeared, so I used the darker one, kind of backstitch around it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, I've got that so far. I've done it on this other one down here, and there's a few more that are gonna have that to it, but it's either that or maybe I'll pick a different color, but I think it looks pretty good that way. Anyway, that's that one. Okay, next up we have Doctor Who, and this is from StitchesLoversShop on Etsy. You can't really, the pattern's not available, or is not an active list. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Anymore, but I could pull up the picture from my Etsy history, so but you can see the shop there, the designer. It's pretty much, it's the 10th Doctor from Doctor Who, is or it looks like that to me, David Tennant, his silhouette, and then you've got the TARDIS there in the middle with the starry nebula kind of background. I'm doing this on 16 count Ada from Brandy at bestitchme. This is one of her, this is what it looks like. So it's kind of a like blue and then pink, kind of looks like the Nova or Nebula kind of look to it anyway, but I think it really looks great on here. I really enjoyed stitching on this. I'm using the called for DMC. I did switch out the black for a toile, and 2 strands over one, full cross, obviously. But I've gotten quite a bit done in this last week. I kind of did all this side of the face. I finished up all the black, this over here, and then kind of just worked my way up some. It's still about a third more to go, I think, because it's got a lot of hair. But yeah, it's coming along pretty well. I really like it. On the fabric tag, the fabric was called Almond Joy, but I haven't ever seen anything else called that, so I don't know if that was just a one-off name or what. But there's quite a few. It reminds me a lot of like her earth fabric, but like in a darker, fuller tone to it. But at least that kind of color palette of teal and pink and or coral, I guess, or I'm not sure. But it was named Almond Joy on the tag, but it's one of the older ones. It was, I think, one of the first fabrics I bought from her when she was on Etsy, and doing that. But yeah, I've just got a little bit, well, I've got quite a bit more to do, but I think I may try to work on this week to see if I can get it further along before the end of the month, and then everything changes for May. But that's that one. Okay, and then the last thing that I worked on was my Mirabilia. This is Deco Spirits. This is an older Mirabilia. It's 4 different spirits, or like the elements, like air, water, earth, fire. The one I'm working on is here, this air one, and I'm doing them all separately on individual pieces of fabric. They're all going to be the same. It's a 32 count white lugana, but this is how far I got on her. I pretty much had her face, neck, and then part of this black done before, and this part was all done too. So I've worked on her arm, getting everything. This is the bottom. There's still lettering under it, but I haven't made it all the way over to the side. But I had to do this hand, like, this is the third, yeah, I think the third time I've stitched this hand because I could not get it right. It is white, so it may be very hard to see, but this, I kept coming up with another color. I'm like, oh no, I'm off. And so, I mean, this last time I just took out the top of it. I think I'm going to work on some of the stuff around it and then come back in with the white. I've just been filling in her arm, and been doing that, but I really like it. I've had more frogging with it than most other patterns, but I do like it. I like the look of it. I did notice I got something on this fabric. You can see it's like a little pale blue. I don't know. I pulled it out of the project bag and that was there. I don't think it's going to be a problem because it should be covered up. This is pretty much a full coverage piece, so it's not, I don't think it'll be a problem. It won't really show up. And if it is going to be a problem, then once I get closer to it, I'll figure out what I'm going to do. But it's the called for DMC. I did switch out the Krynic for Treasure Braid, but I haven't used it yet. It's just, there will be some. But there's kind of this bird up here that you'll see, and then some like buildings, like Art Deco type of buildings right there. But this is, you can see my Wonder Woman needle minder. I did get that from Brandy. I'm not stitching on her fabric on this one, but I won a giveaway she did on her Flosstube. And so I have this lovely Wonder Woman needle minder that I got from her, and I think she got that from Erin the Blind Stitcher. But yeah, it's going along pretty good. I really like it. It looks a lot more for this in the last week, so I'm happy with that. I've been throwing around the idea of like doing some kind of stitch on a certain thing every day, and one of it is Mirabilia Monday maybe. But at the moment, this is the only one I have. I do have another one that you'll see a little bit later. But the other thing is I could start the other 3 of these spirits, just switch it out and, start another one. So I've got something else going. But we'll see. I have some stuff, not Mirabilia's. Well, I do. I did buy the new Princess. I forget her name. Ileana or some. No, that's not right. But the new one that just came out, I ordered it in the bead pack. I haven't received it yet, and I ordered fabric for it. But that will be one that I'll want to be starting once I get all that. So it's a big one, but it looks really great. I like some of the things, and then I dove into Nora Corbett's non-Mirabilia stuff, but under the Nora Corbett line, some of the fairies and the plant-looking ones that I just really liked. So I've ordered some of those too. So we'll see. But anyway, that's the last of what I've been working on. I've been working on one project for a few days, and then switching to another one, not just one a day. But that's been what I've been doing, but that may be changing because, of course, Maynia. Okay, so I normally would do haul at the end, but since my Maynia is huge, there's a lot of stuff to get through. I'm going to go ahead and do the haul first. Okay, so first of all, I am a member of the Fortnite Fabrics Fabric of the Month Club, and I switched to I have been getting just the colored fabric, and I get it in a 32 count even weave. It's what I've been liking stitching on the most, so that's what I'm wanting to get more of, and I have. But this is for April, and this is Fuchsia. Is the name of the color. It's a real pretty pink, purpley pink, which is really, it's a great color. So I like it. I think it's pretty much coming out maybe a little bit, it's pretty true. So I've enjoyed that. Now I did add on, starting this month, I added their neutral line, which is Biondetto. So it's named after mushrooms. And so this is the neutral that came this month. Also 32 count even weave. But it's a good taupey color, brown, light brown taupe look to it. But it's pretty good. You got a lot of different variation to it, so I like it. I'm going to figure out what I can stitch on it. Find a project that would go good on it. I have been getting their other fabrics this year, but just the colored ones, and I think I've figured out some of what I'm going to use those for. But I do like those. Haven't them and Brandy Fabric of the Month. Well, Brandy at bestitchme are the two that I mainly get a lot of, and then some stuff from Picture This Plus, or what I can buy at my LNS. So I also, speaking of Brandy, I got from her Friday Night Fight Night 2 weeks ago. That came in the mail. It actually came during my last video when you heard my dog barking. That was the mailman dropping this off, but I didn't see it, so I couldn't go pick it up. But this is a 40 count, no, this is a Jobelan 32 count pink and green. It's one of her mini cuts, which is 17 by 17. You can fit a good amount of things on this. I really like this size, but it's like kind of a light green and then coral to it. It's got a nice mix to it. I like it. So I have no idea what I'm gonna use it for, but I snagged that up. If you've not done her, she's on Facebook. She also has a website, bestitchme.com. She was on Etsy, and I think it's on temporary status, but she's trying to transition over to the website. Anyway, she has a Facebook group that you can join, and she does a Friday Night Fight Night where she puts up pictures of all these fabrics. She has at least two main contenders, and then a bunch of other stuff that she's dyed up. And they're up in albums, and then me please which one you want, and she'll send out an invoice. She also does giveaways that go with that. Also, if you order from her website over the weekend, you can also participate in the giveaways. If you don't find something you want, or there's nothing left on the fight night, then you can order something off of her website. She does do it does go pretty quickly, so you got to know what you are going in for what fabric you want or what count, and just look for it, because if you're too slow, you may not get anything. Last week that she did it, I forgot to set a timer, and so I was looking at it at, I got on at like 9:50, and I was like, oh no, I'm not going to find anything. And there was still quite a bit that was still there, but there just wasn't something that I was like, oh, I need that, or that was something that I really want. but there wasn't a lot left either. So there were some that people had already gotten to that I would have taken, but that didn't. So I ordered some stuff off our website. But also, if you're in her Fabric of the Month, she does a Fabric of the Month club as well, and you will get a fabric each month. And she does it colors and neutrals. If you have a preference of the two, you can get. Sometimes she just does one, but you can get what she's doing in whatever kind of count or fabric that you want, which is a great way to build up some extra stash. I've used like that Nova. That was one that came in the Fabric of the Month, and I've enjoyed that, being in both of those clubs. Okay, this next one I also got the last Friday night fight night. This is a 40 count even weave Verdal. I first saw somebody talk about this. I think it may have been Michelle Bendy Stitchy on her post market, one of her floss tubes aftermarket, talking about finding somebody that was doing this. I think she said it was Black Cauldron Dye Works, who I've seen them at my LNS, but I haven't seen this. So I haven't stitched on it yet, but I'm excited to. This is in Sunset, which is really pretty pink, orange, and reddish color to it. I'm looking for something that would go good on that. I think you could do like a really fun monochromatic thing on it maybe, but it is 40 count, and I like the smaller counts, and I don't generally have a problem seeing them in good light. I haven't stitched on 40 count yet, but I've stitched on 36 and I've stitched on 18, which the holes are a lot bigger on the 18, but I think it's doable. I'm not a big fan of linen because of the slubs, and I tend to like the even weave, but sometimes I'll get the linen if it's like I want a darker color, or I want something that, the way the dye takes it, that fabric, it makes it better in the linen. But sometimes it's more annoying with the slubs, and I like the even weave look and feel. That's the fabric for this video. I also got a couple patterns. So first of all, these first two I got from Fire Poppies and ordered them, and they came super fast. They always do with them. That's who I ordered that new Mirabilia from, and I actually ordered these at the same time. And it was a pre-order for the Mirabilia, so they're going to send that as soon as they have those. And then I ordered something else that should be coming soon. But this is one of the Nora Corbett's. Bought two of her fairy patterns. This first one is the Lady Cat, relatively newer one. It's like a orchid fairy inside an orchid, it looks like to me at least. But I really like this. This is one of the ones that I would really like to get started soon. I have ordered fabric for it, and I think it just looks like a fun one to do. So the other one is also another Nora Corbett that is Glittering Leaves, another fairy and plant pixie type of look to it. This is in the Autumn Pixies collection, but it's nice pattern, and I'm excited about this one as well. This one does have one set of beads, and then it has some silks that are called for with it, which I think I will do, but it's only two different colors, so it's not too bad. And then DMC, and then I ordered from 123 Stitch. I ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and then realized, oh, I forgot I needed to get needles. So I did the second order, and then it was needles, and I don't want to just order needles, so I also ordered a pattern or chart. So my needles came, but this first package of came in, even though it was the second one I ordered, it got to me a lot quicker. It was only two things. It was a lot easier for them to package. I get that. And everything that's going on. So I decided to try these are the John James Petites the size 28. I like the size 28 in general, and I'm decided to give this a try. I have been happy with the regular size, but a lot of people have been talking about the petites, and you can get more thread out, do that. So I've started using it. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but my initial reaction is it feels small, because it is, but I like they're non-petite. Also like the John James, but the size 28. So I'm going to give it a try. I'll see what I feel like. I'm not calling my decision at this point, but I needed to get something to come along with it. So I bought Rosewood Manners and a Forest Grew. I've seen Erin, Two Martini Stitcher. She's doing this, this last week. I think she started it for Arbor Day or Earth Day, one of the two, which were both this week. But this is a giant sampler with all these different forests or trees on it. I like trees and forests, and so I wanted to get this. I don't have any plans to start this real soon, but it does have quite a bit of different extra things in it. You can see that there's a scissor fob and a couple other. There's also some smaller charts that use some of the different parts to do a scaled down version of it. But I am not a big fan of words in general, and I'm not sure. The only thing that I'm not sure about on this one is the verse here in the middle. I'm trying to see, I've started to look, but I haven't really seen much, but trying to figure out something to put something different here, or take that tree out, but then that's just going to be really weird. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't think I really want to have the verse in there, so I think I'll figure out something. But I do like this. There's a lot of different trees and little woodland animals and everything. There's a lot of different colors. It's all DMC, but and you can see the floss list here is huge. So it's a lot, but I think it'll look. It looks. Everything I've seen pictures on Instagram or anything, it always looks like a really good, really beautiful. So something for the future, because we all need those kinds of things. Alrighty. Okay, so I have broken this into, now we're going to get to Maynia plans. This is the first year that I've ever done Stitch Maynia. The first year I've known about Stitch Maynia during May. I kind of talked about this a little last week, but I got back into stitching early last year, about January of 2019. I had been stitching, but I had just been mostly doing kits, and I had been doing, you saw that giant samurai, that was the last one that I really had been working on, and he got tiresome to me, and I never really thought of, do something different, or do multiple projects at the same time. That really hadn't occurred to me until I found Flosstube, really. But I did my deer here, and found him, and I found a kit, a Harry Potter kit that I did for one of my cousins that I found it on Amazon actually last January or Christmas, and so it was something that I wanted to do, and then I found Etsy, and I found all these patterns on Etsy, and small, easy to do, not too bad, and so I just decided I needed to do all that. So I really fell into this. I didn't find Flosstube until like September, I think, last year, and it just trying to figure out what everything was and watching all this stuff, and just, I like that. I want to do that. I want to do that. That looks fun. It just became a big thing. I found a picture of this is what I did for my cousin. So it is, I did turn this around. So it was actually, I bought two. There was a Hufflepuff and a Ravenclaw. And my cousin has said that she is kind of part Hufflepuff, part Ravenclaw. Sometimes she's a little more one than the other. And so she has a lot of different stuff that is either Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw, that she, says that that's like the house that she'd be in. Obviously it doesn't really exist, but so I decided to, I bought the Ravenclaw kit because I wanted to do it for me. And then I bought the Hufflepuff one. I could just do half and half and just turn it into Ravenpuff, and it would look great. So I did this last year. I did it. I ended up doing it on the 14 count Ada that came with it, and then remembered I don't like doing things on 14 count because it's so big, and I don't like the way my stitches look on it. But I went through it. I got through it. I enjoyed it. I really, I liked figuring out how to put the two together. It wasn't that hard because they're pretty similar. The crests are lined up for the most part. I had to make a little bit of adjustments and did a little bit on the words there. But anyway, I never really knew anything about Stitch Mania or anything until more recently, and figuring out, this is how many starts, and everybody's doing different things. Stitch Sania, which I think Stephanie Lindy Stitches did, talked about, and doing some different, or only starting this many, but as I found out in my lots of Flosstube research, watching everything, is that it started as a Facebook group that in 2015 to do 15 new starts in the month of May. And then 16, 17, now we're in 2020, so it'd be 20 starts in May, which is a lot. I've never started that many things in any month. I used to be more of a monogamous stitcher, so that makes sense that I think the biggest before that I've done, it was either going to be December last year. I think it was January, because I finished a bunch of stuff in December, and like January of this year, I started 6 things. So that's I think the most that I've ever done. I have my cross stitch journal that I started. But yeah, I don't think, December I did 5. So, I mean, it wasn't a whole lot more, but yeah, so I have not done that. I haven't started 6 things. I haven't started more than 6 things in any month. So this is going to be, but some of this stuff I would have started sooner, but I've been kind of saving it. So I'm going to try to do the 20 starts in May. And actually I'm probably going to do more because my birthday is also in May, and it would be after May 20th. It's May 22nd. So I am also probably going to do something on my birthday as well, because I want to start something, and it's not stuff that I have fully kitted up right now, or I'm waiting on fabric or something, a couple of the stuff, so we'll see what all we do. I have split up my projects into a set of definitely going to start, and then some maybes. So I think the way I'm going to be doing this, there's some that I definitely know I want to start in this. I haven't planned out what day, but I'm going to make 2 wheels on the Tiny Decisions app where you have, hold on. I think the mailman's here again. Hey, Augie. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Well, okay. As I was saying, I've started 2 different wheels, and I'm gonna do everything on one, all the projects, and then a wheel of definitely want to start. So if there's something like, okay, I got to get something started, I know I want to do this, and then one with everything, and then take off as I start stuff. So you'll also see, though, that some of I'm going to start 20 things, but I'm being kind of loose on the defining the thing part. So there's some stuff that I'm definitely going to do where it either was all one project or I'm going to do it. Well, I'll just show you as we get into it. Okay, so this first one, this is a good example. So I found these. This is, it's called Mid-Century Gardens, and it is a, here's the first one. This is a collaboration between Hands-On Design, Ink Circles, and Summer House Stitchworks. And this is 3 different kind of mid-century modern patterns, and you can either do them individually as they've done here, or you can do them all in a row if you would like to, and like in this kind of format. I'm going to do them all together, and each of the different designers gave, it's 3 different colors, but they picked 3 different colors on each of their charts. So you can do them all in the same 3 colors, or 3 different colors, or whatever you want to do. Like this one, Summer House Stitchworks, she did hers in Gentle Arts, and you can use that. The Hands-On Design is in Weeks Dye Works, and then Ink Circles did hers in Classic Colorworks. I'm doing mine in my own set of colors. So I have my house is mid-century modern. It's like a flat roof, atomic modern style. We have some great houses here in Tulsa that are like that. It was built in 1959. It just, and I like that style. I've bought furniture that's a lot like that, so it's something I like. So I liked this. That it would definitely be something I could put into my house. So I've picked, first of all, the fabric that I've picked. This is bestitchme Earth, and this is in a 32 count lugana. No, Jobelan. Yeah, Jobelan. It's a teal with pink. This is one of my favorite colors from her. I really like this a lot. It's a great color that you can stitch a lot of things on. You really can get quite a bit of stuff done. I've found a lot of things that I want to stitch on this, so I really like it. It's one of my favorite things. And I'm going to be using DMC, but I bought some of the color variation DMC. This is 4022. I think it's Caribbean or Mediterranean, something like that. I'm not sure, but it's really a pretty blue teal variegation. And then the darkest color I'm using a solid. This is 3765. My office and my house is kind of like this color, so I'm using that as the base. And then this is DMC 106, which is one of the color variations. It's kind of like a carrot color to it. So I think that's going to look, let's do this. But yeah, I think that will look great. The little floss drops, or this is what I put when I'm getting my stuff, I don't bobbinate. So this is how I put my fabric or my floss together. These are little gift tags that you can get on Amazon, and I think there's like 300 or 200 of them. And I bought a big hole punch from Michael's, and then I also hole punched the top and make it a little bit bigger. I usually put it on a ring, but with 3, I'm not going to put it on a ring. But yeah, I just hole punch it, put it in there, and then that's how I do my floss. So I think that's really going to look great. I'm super excited. Kind of see where we're going with that. But yeah, alrighty. So those are 3. So as I said, I'm counting them. I'm being a little generous with my counting. So there's 3 different projects. So I'll have all 3 on the, well, I'm going to have it on the wheel 3 times. And I'm going to start, because I'm a center starter for the most part, I'm going to start the middle one and then get that. And then if the other ones get called, then I'm going to, count over and then start something or get the border or something, so that I've got a start on all of them. And then mostly probably stitch on the middle one until make my way out there. But they're not too big. I think it'll be pretty easy to do that. They are 61 by 61, so it's not going to be 61 all the way. It's not going to be 3 times 61 because the middle border is going to be the overlap. And that border is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Math is not easy, but essentially it'll be 61 times 3 minus 14, approximately. And you can do that if you want to figure it out. But anyway, that is that on the first one. Next is another ink circles. This is I think one of the few things I bought from Market. I did not pre-order it, but I did order it. And this is Elemental Dragons Earth by Ink Circles. This is going to be the start of a series, so there's going to be several others that are on this. This came out at Market this year. The called for is Lima Bean Belfast by Mystic Fabrics on 32 count, and then using a either 310 or a silk. She suggested Gloriana Antique Black for all the monochromatic everything. I have gone a slightly different direction. I'm guessing, although I haven't seen, obviously the rest of the series isn't out yet, so I don't know what the other elemental dragons are going to be, but I'm guessing it's going to be air, water, fire, or something along those lines. And so I decided it would be cool to do a floss that is, here, let me see, that is a green into brown. And this is Weeks Dye Works Foliage. It has like a green variegation, and it goes into a brown color. I think this will be great because I like earth as in green, earth outside, nature, but also the earth, the ground. So I kind of wanted to go green and brown. Also, I am doing it on 40 count. This is the fabric that I've chosen. It's Brandy by bestitchme's Gaia, which is another fabric I really like. It has like a green, blue, pink kind of mix to it. This is on that 40 count Verdal. And you've got kind of a big it's a little bit more green than what's showing up here, or maybe that side is. Anyway, it's not going to take this whole fabric, but this is what I'm going to use to do it. I think it'll be great, and I'm going to do one strand since it's 40 count. But this was the first 40 count that I bought, and I have really enjoyed. Well, I haven't stitched on it yet, but I really enjoyed looking at it, and I think that'll be great in there. So we're up to 4, and these are definite. Definitely going to start that. Next one is by Satsuma Street. This is a forest, I think is the name. Hold on. Yes. So, and I'm using my iPad because I don't have a color printer, so I print out the picture, but it's just going to be black and white, but you can see what it looks like. This is Forest. You can get it on her Etsy site. You see this is what it looks like. But I am doing this in the called for DMC, and then the fabric that I'm using, also Bestitch Me. This is Toast in 32 count Lugana. So this is I really like this, I really like a lot of things that she does, but I really like this tan brown as a neutral. And I'm excited. Here's the floss, so we'll do that. I think it'll look great. I am really excited to do this. I like a lot of forest. There's quite a bit of forest things, plants and those kinds of stuff. So this is I did her alpine one, and I really liked it. It's kind of similar colors, and I did also on the same kind of fabric. So, and I do think I want to do it as a long pillow, like the picture. I think that would be cool. I don't know how to make a pillow, but my mom does, so we'll see if we can figure that out. She also has a sewing machine, so which would be helpful. Alrighty, okay, the next one, I've got two in here, but I'm only going to be doing one of them. Maybe I don't know which one. Okay, this is also by Satsuma Street. These are some of her Nutcracker ornaments that she did last year. You've got, this is Nutcracker King and Santa Nutcracker. So I'm doing these as a gift, or they will both be done as gifts. But I'm probably one for this year and then one for the future probably. But these are my first time trying to do something on perforated paper, so we'll see how that goes. I have stitched on plastic canvas needlepoint in the past, and so that's probably, I don't know how that compares, but we'll see. But these are from her. I bought these directly. You get the whole, like all the floss, you get the beads, everything, and I'm excited to, I'm going to do one of them. I'm leaning, I think, towards the Santa Nutcracker, and do him, and then they will be a gift, but a Christmas gift, so I want to get it started so I have it. So we're up to number 6. I'm only going to do one of those. I'm not going to start both of them, probably. That may change. Maybe I'll love it and I'll do another one and then buy more and do 50 more. Probably not. But that is my, that one. Okay, this next one is from Stitcherovia. This is Emma Cogden in the UK. Also bought this on Etsy. This is Forest, or In the Forest. Sorry. This is the picture. I have started her Winter Deer, which has some of the similar kind of motif. It's like a Scandinavian inspired scene. But I really liked that, the way those trees look, and I'm excited to do that. So I'm doing it in the called for DMC, and then this is a 32 count Jobelan from Brandy called Gold Rush. It's a little bit more goldish in color, obviously the name. And then I have no idea what I'm gonna finish it with or anything, but I think that'll look really good. So I need a board I don't have, but yeah, it's not too big. It's you know, the chart's a 1-pager, so you know it's not going to be that big. But it's what 62 by 94, so only just a little bit bigger than those mid-century garden ones, and I'm doing 3 of those together. So yeah, this will be easy to get started, get good progress on, and then shouldn't be too hard to finish. Now I'm not trying to finish any of these in May. This is just get them started, get things into them. I don't generally have a huge amount of time to stitch every day. I would like to, and sometimes I do, but shouldn't. You know, you can sleep later, I guess, but then you mess up and you've got to frog it, and it's not great. anyway, I will be stitching these. I'm going to try to do one a day, but if I get behind, then I may start two. It's going to depend. Work can happen, things can happen. We're in the midst of, my state is reopening, and the governor has reopened it, phased in reopening starting yesterday. My mayor in Tulsa is starting it next week. He is not happy about it, though. It doesn't seem from my interpretation of his speech. But we have a lot of other cities around us and communities that have decided to follow suit with the governor. And he said it's really not practical to keep us closed if everybody else isn't doing the same. So there's been it seems like the mayors in our state are trying to be more, to make sure we're at a good point. And so I don't know what's going to happen. Things are changing. This whole thing has been like nothing else. So, and because of that, I don't know. I've been working from home for the most part, but I don't know if we're going to be going back to the office or when that's going to happen. My company hasn't decided what they're doing yet, or at least they haven't told me. So that's another one that I'm definitely going to start in a forest. And then here is my next Mirabilia. This is Lady Justice. I work in the legal field, and so I like this one. Makes kind of sense. And this is Mirabilia. I think this one's from 2018. This is one I'm excited to get started. I don't have all the floss in here because I was in the process of changing it out into the floss cards. But this is the fabric. This is way longer than, we don't need all this, but this is the fabric I'm doing it on. This is Ice Queen, also by Brandy. This is a 32 count Jobelan, and it's kind of a blue-gray. You can get any of her stuff in opal. I'm not a big fan of that. I bought one. I haven't stitched on it. I don't know. It may be something I want to try in the future, but I like a lot of it. I don't know if it's got to be the right pattern, I guess, that I want to do it on. But I have enjoyed using like the etoile and stuff, so I like sparkle. That's not the problem. But this is Ice Queen. It's kind of a blue-gray. I think especially on the Jobelan, it's a little bit more gray, but I like that. So, and I'm using the called for DMC. I did switch out the Krynic for Treasure Braid, and yeah. So this one is definitely going to be started. I'm still in the new starts, so I think I lost count. 7, probably at 7. Okay. This is another Satsuma Street. I've really been interested in hers recently. So she has several like the same kind of things. This is Primavera, which is Italian for spring. I'm pretty sure. She has several of these like 9x9s of little individual pictures of different motifs for each season. So this is spring. There's one. Inverno is winter. Otoño is autumn, and Verno, I think, is summer. This is my Italian from more than 10 years ago trying to come out. I think that's right. I do have some of them in here. Anyway, I've decided to do them individually. I did start one. This is one I didn't show last week. But this is the center one. I'm not doing all of the patterns in here, all of the individual, but I'm going to do them. So here's the black and white. So from this one, I picked 6 that I really like. This is the center one. The other thing I really like about this, so I'm doing it on 16 count white Aida, and I got a big package of it at Michael's and used like the coupon, and then cut it up, and I'm doing it individual each on these. And then I think I'm going to put them on like I did those other ones where I put it on a canvas and then put it up like that. Kind of switch some out because I don't have 6 of them that I'm doing on each season, but I am picking out the ones that I want to do and doing those. I'm not a huge cat person, so I'm not doing the cat one. I appreciate cats from afar. I'm allergic as well. I like dogs. And my dog is not the best with cats. So this is the floss. It's called for DMC. Now she does do quite a bit of the variegated floss from DMC. And so one thing that I found in here is that if you're going to do one of these, especially if you're gonna do all of them, there is a color variations pack of the low numbered DMC variegated floss. So it's like 60, 59, something in the 50s up into the into the 150s. Forget the exact numbers, but the ones that they still make, there's a pack that you can buy of them, and you get 2 skeins of all of them, and they sell it at Michael's. I don't know if they have it at Hobby Lobby, but I used a coupon on it, got 50% off, super great deal, and I got all of those that I wouldn't have to buy individually. So I did that, and she only recommends 1 skein for each of them, but the color that's the border, she recommends 2. Now I'm doing them individually. I'm not doing all of them, and I'm not sure if 2 skeins will be enough. It's just a simple like 2x2 border. I've thought about maybe trying to chart something that would be a little bit different, but I haven't got there yet. Everything else would make it a lot bigger. I may just do what's there, but I'm going to leave it to last, so if I want to do it, if I want to add something, I can. I probably won't, though. I'll probably just do the variegated border. So on this one, I know there's 6 of them that I want to do. The center one, the tulip, all 3 of the flowers. I think this bird, that's 4, and I think these 2. This one, for some reason, to me looks like it's a candle on a birthday cake. I don't know. These just look like birthday candles to me or something. So I don't want to do it, and I don't want to do the butterfly or the cat house. But anyway, that's what I'm planning to do on that. And there's another one that is in the maybes. I think it's stuff for summer. And there's only 4 of those that I want to do. And then I need more Ada to do more than that. But I have bought the patterns for the fall and winter. I really like the winter ones. I'm probably going to do all 9 of those. But anyway, that's in the future. So that's 5 and 7. So we're up to 12 of definite starts. Because there's 6, but I've already started 1, so I'm not going to count that. Okay, this is the last of the, well, actually, oh, here. So, the other one, yeah, Verano. So, oh, that's the pattern. This is not the best picture, but this is the summer one, and I think I'm going to do 4 of them. The center one, this bird, that flower. I think it's just those 4. So this 4 in the corner, I think that's what I'm going to be doing. But I'm not sure. So this is in the maybe pile. Okay, this next one, these are 2 of the Be Well and Stitch charts that I have picked up. First one is Satsuma Street's Let's Stay Home. It's a freebie. You can get it on her website or online. I've seen a lot of people doing this. It's really pretty. It's great color choices there. And then the other one is from Autumn Lane Stitchery, which I just found. They have a husband and wife team. Aaron, who's the husband, he does the designing. Cassandra, his wife, does the stitching. And they are just really funny on their YouTube, on their Flosstube. If you want to see some entertainment, I would check them out. So there's Be Well and Stitch, or Be Well. So they've got like a honeycomb and then a bee carrying away a pail of honey. This is really cute. I've decided to do both of these on the same fabric. I was playing around with one of the ones from Fortnite Fabrics, but I've decided to use this. This is Picture This Plus Stellar. It's a 32 count linen, and I bought this at my LNS when I was going to do originally for something else, and then I changed my mind and went a different direction. But so this was just in my stash. I really like it though. You can see it's a pretty color. It seems a little bit, in the different light, it looks a little more purple than blue. Blue is my favorite color. Purple is not my favorite color, but I don't dislike purple. But sometimes the blue that kind of turns into purple is a little weird to me. Also, don't quite see every color. I have a little bit of color blindness, not like where I can't see a particular color, but sometimes some colors just, it's hard for me to tell which is which, but it doesn't happen very often. And it's got to be the right colors next to each other that I miss. My mom is much worse, which is weird because it usually runs in men and it's less common in women, but yeah, so I'm going to be doing that all on the called for DMC that they did, and I'm going to do both of those on the same fabric. I'm not going to do them like charted next to each other or like where they're related, but I'm going to do it all on the same fabric. So those two are definite starts for the Be Well and everything. So what's that? We were at 12, 13, 14. Definite, I think. Okay, this is the last of my definite starts, and this is one that I'm super excited about. This is by Ink Circles, who is another one of my favorite designers now that I've found in the last 6 months. But this is Forests of Sumatra. This is the cover of it. So it is a big sampler that is all kind of foresty motifs and plants and everything, and I'm just super excited about it. There's a couple others in this of Sumatra series. You've got the Squirrels of Sumatra, which came out after this, and then before that was the Dragons of Sumatra. All of them are charted to be like a big monochromatic sampler, or maybe not sampler, so not the right word, but big patterns that are really cool. I really like this. I bought the Gloriana silk that it calls for, and I love this color. It's called Sumatra. It was actually made specifically for this pattern, but it is like a blue, like a spruce blue to green. It's just great. It's beautiful. I really like this color, and I'm super excited to do it. Now, I have decided, and I special ordered fabric for this. Well, this is Toast from Brandy at bestitchme. It's a little bit more on the burnt side, as she calls it. It's a little darker, but this is on 36 count linen. And I went with the 36 because I wanted something that I could do the one strand on. It calls for 36 too. And I'm going to just get over the fact that it has slubs, but I think it's going to look great. I think it's going to be a great contrast. As you can tell from that other picture of toast, the linen, it just looks a lot darker. I've used this. I have a 32 count linen that I'm using on my Long Dog sampler, Castles in the Air, and I really like the darkness that this in the linen brings to this color. And yeah, so I'm excited. It's gonna be pretty much this whole thing. But yeah, I'm excited to get that started. I already have a needle minder on here, apparently. And that is this I've had kitted for a while, and I was trying to figure out, am I gonna start this when I'm gonna do it for Maynia. I could have done it for Arbor Day, but or Earth Day or one of those, but I am very excited about that. And yeah, that Gloriana, that silk, so beautiful. And it's so soft and expensive. Don't get me wrong, but I'm usually stitching with DMC. I've only done a few things with some of the more like the cotton variegated overdyed. Okay, so now we're into the maybes. So the first one, this is another, like that crest that I showed before, this is the crest for Gryffindor. My cousin that is the Raven Puff, her brother, is a Gryffindor. And so I was going to do this for him. I'm switching it to an 18 count Ada, white Ada, instead of the 14 that came with it. But it comes with all the DMC and everything. So I bought that back when I bought the others. And it was something I was going to do and then never got around to starting it. It's pretty big, so I want to get it started or I won't finish it for Christmas, which is when I'd like to be able to give it to him. Okay, this next one, I've got a couple by this artist or this designer on Etsy. Her name is Anita Stitch, and I think she's Eastern Europe. She's not from America. I think she's Eastern European, but I'm not sure. But her shop on Etsy is Anita Stitch, and yeah, this one is called Winter Night. It's just a really pretty, winter pattern. The little village, mountains and everything. I think it's gonna look great. I was gonna start this. I bought this to do in the beginning of the year, but then got over doing winter stuff. But I'm gonna stitch this on 18 count Mystic by Picture This Plus. Which is a really great dark blue, dark teal, really. I mean, it's really pretty. I really like this color. But I bought this, as you can see from the sticker, it came from 123 Stitch. But yeah, I think this would be a really pretty color on that as the background, and then just the called for DMC. But yeah, so that's a maybe. And okay, this is another maybe. This is a dimensions kit that I have had for a while. I bought this years ago and then I never started it, and I was going to. This is Elegance of the Orient. I've done a few of the different geisha. You saw that samurai guy from last year, or from last video. And this is another one that I bought a while ago and really liked it. It's huge, it's beautiful, and there's like an ivory 18 count Ada that came with it. I am thinking I'm gonna switch this to this, which is Earth by bestitchme again. This is a 32 count Jobelan or lugana. I may order something different. I think if I did Ada, I'd have to get a half though, because it's such a big piece. I'm not sure. This is definitely a maybe, but I really like this fabric, and I think she would look great on it. It's got the light blue and the pink. I didn't I thought about something that was kind of like a more like peachy pink color, but a lot of the, I think that would really not work well with like these flowers, these cherry blossoms, I think they are, that they wouldn't stand out very well. So I think the light blue is better. I also have like a pale blue that may, I don't know, I'm really not sure. So it's definitely a maybe, and a maybe in the sense of it comes up on the wheel and I may spin again, because there's not really rules and I can do what I want. So that's that one. Alrighty. Okay, this next one is from Paper Crane Stitches on Etsy. I think the designer is from Toronto, Canada. So the name of this is Murderino. So one of the podcasts that I listen to is called My Favorite Murder. It sounds weird if you don't know what it is, but it's a true crime podcast, but they incorporate levity and comedy to it. Not, and that they're not making fun of anybody that was, any of the victims or anything like that, but they deal with it in a way that makes it a lot approachable, and it's listed in the comedy podcast charts, but they have a way of dealing with it in like a regular person perspective that is really makes it work. There's two women, Georgia Hardstark and Karen Kilgariff, and they basically tell each other a story, and you hear them react to it, to the other person, and it's just a really great podcast. It's hard to explain it until you've like listened to it and you're like, oh yeah, that's really cool. I found it, my Hufflepuff or Ravenpuff cousin put it on Instagram years ago, where like there was something, I don't even remember, like talk about your favorite podcast on an Instagram post, and she put it up there and I was like, oh, I need something new to listen to, and I found it, and then I went back and listened to every single one of them and really have enjoyed it. They wrote a book. I listened to their book. They're great. I'm behind on it. I need to catch up because I've been listening to books and my podcasts have gone kind of back down. But anyway, so I'm doing this. This is another bestitchme fabric. This is Strawberry Shortcake. This was a fabric of the month, I think January. And this is 18 count Aida. And it's called Strawberry Shortcake. And then just the called for DMC. I don't have them all bobbin or on floss drops, but I think it'll look great. It's pretty, it's like an Art Deco-y kind of look to it. I like it. I think it'll be a good picture. So I think it'll look great. And it's for me. I mean, I'm not planning on doing anything with it, but putting it up on the wall, probably in a hoop or something like that. But that is another maybe. Alrighty. Okay, this is another one by Anita Stitch. And it's another holiday one. This is her Small Winter Village. Just the name of it. You can see that. So, yeah, it's, kind of a red village with a couple mountains in the background. And I'm doing this on 32 count Mercedes Lugana from Picture This Plus. Light blue, kind of, I think it'll look good on this. Not sure which way, probably this way. I don't know, figure it out. But this was one I had bought. I bought several of these, like this size, which is 12 by 17. I bought several of this size and several of this size of just different Picture This Plus fabrics to get an idea of what they look like and everything. Because, the pictures, it's like the same picture on all of them. but the way it looks in person can be very different. So I had bought that last year, put it in my stash. Maybe you can do some ornaments on it or something, I don't know, but I changed it, or I pulled it out for this. So, and this is another one by the same cross-stitch designer on Etsy, and this is Japan Meiji Castle, which I think is in Osaka, but I'm not sure. It just came to my mind, but and I'm doing this on another. This is a lot of brandy fabric. If I may just rename this Maynia Plan / look at all the brandy fabric. But this is sky blue. This is a 32 count Jobelan. I bought this like so long ago. This was probably one of the first. I mean, it's definitely in the first 10 fabrics, if not the first 5 fabrics that I bought from her. Originally, I was going to put the Lady Justice on this. I think that's what I bought it for, but it's not big enough. I didn't really look at to see what the right color was or anything, but I think this will look really good, because the called for is just like a light gray, but I think this will make everything pop and everything. This is also, I like light blue, and it's like a teal, light teal blue, sky blue kind of look to it. I really like it. So that's that one. Alrighty, okay, last one. So we're definitely over 20, but I'm not sure. And this one is more gonna happen probably than, it's a maybe, but like I want to do it. So, and I don't think I got the pattern. I didn't get the picture. Okay, so, there's not a picture from this. Okay, so this is from the, I do have a picture. Okay, so this is from Oh My Stitches Shop, who, the panda that I did, the Chinese panda that I showed last week, she did the same one, same person, and this is, she has several superhero themed ones. I've purchased several, but this is the first one that I'm going to do, and this is Captain Marvel. Well, it's called Captain Silhouette Cross Stitch Pattern Superhero Landscape. So it's the same kind of, like my Doctor Who concept of, you've got an outline, silhouette, and then like something you can also see inside of it, picture inside of picture. I really like that. I've got several of these. This is Captain Marvel, from Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, themed. I mean, it's not, it's not licensed, but it's seems to be that's what it's paying homage to. But I really like it. I like Captain Marvel. Well, I like all the Marvel shows and everything. But it is, I'm excited for this one. The goal, why it's a maybe, is that I want to do it. I had been planning to start it after I get my Doctor Who done, because it's kind of like the same kind of thing. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But yeah, so this is also from bestitchme. There's not a name to it, but I think it's like her ocean blue or deep blue, something like that. She's got, this is a 18 count Ada, and then the called for DMC. Now this blue is pretty similar, you can see, but the light one, I think, the way the pattern works, I think the dark is going to be fine. The light one may be a problem of like coming up against the pattern, but I don't think it's, it kind of blends in there, but it doesn't touch the fabric. The colors that touch the outside are the black, the dark navy, and the red and the pink and everything, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now I did switch out, I'm using the black étoile and then the red, this is 666, this étoile as well. So there's going to be Those are the only two that I used. If you look at the pattern, so, you know, the black here on her shoulders, and then the silhouette person, and then the red there, that's going to all have sparkle. So I think it'll look really cool. I'm excited about it. Whoops. But yeah, so that's it's the end of my Maynia. Definitely not Sania this time, but I am excited. I think I'm gonna get 20. Now the other thing, okay, so there are a couple other projects that I may start, and I may count them as a Maynia start, because I want to get to 20, but we'll see. One of which would be if I start another of my letters on my Paine Free Crafts Fantasy Alphabet Sal. If I get B done and I do C, which is for Cerberus, I would do that one. And then I don't have a picture of those. Or if I move down to the next, I could get a couple, because there's not like it doesn't, unlike some of the other Sals that I've seen where like you get another part of the pattern is cleared up, but you see, or you can figure out where it goes from the new pattern, the new individual pattern. But I couldn't just skip down and do H, because that's on another row that I haven't got to yet. I could do A, I've done A, in the middle of B, I could do C, and then D, E, F, G, I probably would be hard to do at this point. And then H is on the next row. So I don't think I could do all of them, but if I get to the point where I could start C, or C or D, then I may do those. But I'm also trying to do the border to keep that going, because it's repetitive and easy to do, but it's a lot of stitching. I mean, it takes up a lot. For the full border, they recommend like 8 skeins of one color, 8 skeins of another color, and then like, I think 6 skeins of a third. And then there's a few others that go into like, there's like corner motifs, the same pattern in all 4 corners, but it's a lot. The border it's a lot. It's easy to do, and it's something I like doing so that I can, like I said, I'm at the point of going through it, that it wouldn't be something that would be hard to do. I don't have to pay attention to the fabric or to the pattern, and I can do that. As I get going more further along, I'm going to get to the other edge, and then I'll have to figure that out, and do that other corner. But anyway, so those are ones that may be something. I'm still waiting on a giant order from 123 Stitch of mostly floss and some other things. But that would be stuff that I would do, maybe switch in to do something. But I'm definitely going to get 20 things started. But we'll see what else. The other thing, I didn't bring this in here. The Autumn Lane Stitchery, the Spring Lady, they're planning to do all 4 seasons, but they've put out spring. It's really pretty picture, and I really want to do it. I've got the pattern, and I've got fabric, and I've got some of the floss, but I'm trying to put together my list of all the DMC that I need. I don't think I have a full... I've been trying to go through and figure out what all I have, because a lot of stuff is in projects. I've cataloged everything I have in just my stash, but everything else, there's a lot of stuff still in projects that I haven't gone through yet, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to buy for different things, or if I need extra skeins of stuff or all that kind of stuff. And the way I do it, I have bought, and I will buy DMC from online or from my LNS, but most of the time I end up buying it from a big box store, just because you can use like the 20 or 30% off everything coupon, and that makes, if you use the 30% off, that changes it from a, you know, 56 cents to 36 or 38. I haven't done the math recently, but I mean, and when you're buying a lot of floss, that saves a lot, you know, and so I try to put together a list and, you know, go and get it when I need to. It's been hard. I haven't gone into the stores to buy anything, although I think our Michaels have stayed open. I have done curbside pickup. I think you can still go ahead and shop there, because they've been classifying themselves as essential. But I haven't gone in there. I've just done the curbside, which has its own problems of waiting for things and all that. We've got several Michaels here in Tulsa, and so if one's out, then I've gone to the other one to try and get it, and I've done that a few times. But anyway, so that's that, and I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do. Oh, hello, come here. We got a visitor. This is my baby. So, you look over here, Augie, say hi. This is my baby. This is my corgi boy. This is Augustus. It goes by Augie. That's what I mostly call him. But this is actually kind of his spot because there's a big window out to the backyard here where he likes to watch out and keep an eye out on everything. But I think that's pretty much it for me today. I've gone through everything. I did say I'm waiting for some fabric and some different things to come in, some different bigger projects. No idea when I'll start them. I mean, I'm starting all this stuff now, but a lot of it's small, a few big stuff, but anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. So I am going to go ahead and sign off and get back to stitching and get this uploaded and everything. And I thank you for everybody that's commented and liked my videos so far. I hope to do more of them and do some more. I don't know that they'll all be giant long movies like this, since I've got a few other things that I want to cover and some upcoming stuff, but yeah, so I'm not sure. I'll probably do another video in another week, but I don't know if I'll stick to the weekly schedule if I have enough to do a video every week, or they'll be a lot shorter. So anyway, we'll figure it out, and thanks for everything. Talk to you later. Bye.